right, so first step to make our moon rocks is to to preheat the oven to 300 degrees. All right, I have my cooking sheet ready. And this recipe is very simple. All right, so I added my 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water, and then I added a couple different paints that I had. Blue food coloring, or food coloring works too, but it didn't get it dark enough for what I wanted. So I added some shiny blue, some black, some gold. Now I have a very dark gray color right now. So next, you want to make sure you have foil on your baking sheet so it doesn't stick. And then you're going to need some cotton balls. Alright, so I didn't have cotton balls on my house. I had these little rounds. So I'm going to kind of bunch them up. And then you kind of put the mixture around it so it kind of holds its shape. Alright, so I'm going to do that. Alright, so I have my moon rocks, and it is time to put them in the oven for approximately 45 minutes. Alright, just got the moon rocks out of the oven, and it's hard to see. They're still hot. But if you look really closely, I added some shimmery paint. I think that gold is kind of reflecting. But yeah, they look really neat. I will let them cool. And then we will try and crack them open in a little bit. Should be fun. And we're back. Our moon rocks have now cooled. And you can see, look closely, I see some of the cotton kind of peeking out a little bit, but you can see they're very shimmery. So now, I do not have a hammer to use, so I'm gonna use this guy. Just gonna tap on them. It should have the same effect. But if you have a toy hammer, great. If not, you can use anything kind of small that might enable these rocks to crack apart a little bit. So I'm gonna go do that. Some of these rocks here, you can see they're very sparkly. All right, so I'm going to I will call this my hammer, and I'm gonna see if I can crack one of these open. All right. It's tougher than I thought. I'm gonna take my hands and do something. All right, let's see if I can first get it off here. Can I do it? All right, it's peeled off. All right, so it was very hard to do that with one hand. So I put this over here so you can see. I'm gonna see if it breaks apart a little bit. It's very spongy, almost. I thought it was gonna be very hard and very dry and crack. It might get like that when you use an actual cotton ball. If you notice, I only had the rounds at home, so I kind of balled them up and dipped them in the flour water mixture and put them on here. So that could be why they're kind of a different texture than I was anticipating. But if you look, it's very spongy. You can even see on the bottom too, like you see the cotton ball, but it's like shiny. Let's see if I can pull it apart. Oh, it's very hard to pull apart. But you can see there, it looks kind of funky. But yeah, you can definitely pull it apart. It's very tough. There's still a really just neat texture. Like, obviously, I don't know if I'm expecting you to hear something, but it's a very strange texture. I couldn't even tell you what it feels like other than kind of like, it's just very spongy. Like a mix between a sponge and like silly putty. But it doesn't, if you look, it goes back to its shape. Huh. So it goes right back up. It's very neat. Well, now hopefully you have something very interesting to make at home, as they are very neat texture, and they pull apart, especially with like the cotton ball in there. Yeah, and on the inside it's very soft yet in certain spots. Like for some of the bigger moon rocks I have, the inside's a little bit soft. And while it didn't turn out the way I anticipated, you can still see it cracking. All right, so you see the cracks. And so rather than a hammer, well, my hammer, rather than a hammer, I would probably recommend just using your hands. It's a neat texture. So little ones will still have fun with this. I'm having fun with this. So little ones will still have fun. And you can hopefully extend your talk about the moon, which is even more fun. So if anything, I hope you got out of this what, you know, the surface of the moon might feel like. Some it's very dusty, like chalk, or some say it's like sand. This is very doughy and spongy, so you might not be able to touch the moon, but hey, you have the next best thing here. Made some moon rocks. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.